What's up? What's up? It's Dark Times with Dark Match Steve, the one and only, the GOAT. At least that's what other people call me. I don't call myself that. I'm modest. Oh, God. Who the fuck's in my chat? Blummels, my lover. What's up? What's up, bro? Love the intro. Thank you. Yeah. Fat Pig. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you guys for hanging. I didn't mean for that song to fucking keep playing again. We'll be here for 10 more minutes just listening to fucking intro tracks. Where am I? Okay, here we go. What's up? What's up? Dark Match Steve here. How's it going, guys? What's up? Everybody doing good? We had a good evening. How's everybody doing? Airplane Willie up in the chat. What's up? What's up? Thank you guys for coming to hang. So it finally fucking happened. I've been talking about it enough. My goddamn parody song is done. Fucking bullshit. Wait, what does this say? I was being sarcastic in my response, by the way. Please never take anything. This motherfucker getting heat with me on Twitter. Look, no, Airplane Willie, I appreciate you. I replied with the link, but yeah, Airplane Willie calling me out for not posting the link. It's complicated with, I think I maybe even trying to fluff up my chair a little bit. I got black fur on this bitch and a black background, so you can barely tell I'm sitting in a fluffy chair. Airplane Willie up on Twitter starting shit with me because I don't post an actual link to the stream that he reposts for me all the time because he's my number one stunner. Yeah, so the reason in case anyone else wonders, and fucking Cracker Chris yesterday called while I was live and was like, and then he hung up before I got it. I was going to answer on here, but and he texted me, how do I get to your live YouTube show? I don't know if people have trouble finding me searching Dark Match Steve. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe my channel doesn't come up that easily. I wouldn't, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. But anyway, he asked me for a link. People, I guess, wonder why I don't fucking put a link up. And just for the record, right, I'll probably have to say this again multiple times in the future. But if I post a goddamn link for the stream on a different platform, and I'm to be open. I mean, I'm trying to more build my YouTube and my Twitch. I should go, besides the Bubba Army chat in Twitch. I mean, those people kind of go to their different places. I know a lot of them. There's probably at least some people in the Bubba Army Twitch chat that would maybe watch my show or enjoy hanging with us or whatever. But I don't fucking I don't get to them because I don't use Twitch to watch the Bubba Army morning show. So anyway, I don't fucking post links because the goddamn links, if I post a link to YouTube on Twitter or fucking Facebook, but also if I mention if I put a fucking link on my profile on Instagram and I mention, oh yeah, go click the link on my profile and watch whatever. I mean, it seems like anytime I do any of that my posts get kind of buried. They get throttled a little bit. That's what it seems like anyway. But Instagram completely screws me over as it is. I'm shadow banned there and whatever. But that's why I don't put the links for the fucking stream anywhere, because if I mention the stream in a post and don't put the link, it gets more views. But then people are like, how do I get to the stream? But if I fucking post a link to the stream, you can go to my fucking Facebook and scroll down my profile. Every post about the stream with a link gets no fucking views, no interaction. It's like, kind of fucked either way. No, 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 don't quit asking for a link, bro. I really appreciate it. I'm not bitching. I'm just explaining fully because I think I've replied in a few tweets and been like, I've kind of partly explained it. But yeah, if I post a link to YouTube or to a different website on any of the fucking social media sites, they throttle it because they don't want you clicking away. They want me to stream on their site, which I'm gonna do eventually. But my YouTube channel's been deleted multiple times, and I'm trying to fucking build it back up again here and do more stuff here. And yeah, I do want to stream on Twitter and Facebook and whatever. I'll do it there, but I kind of don't want the chat completely fucking split up already. I don't know. Anyway, I've been debating been debating this whole time. I don't know if I should play my new parody song on the show tonight. I mean, I think if I start and stop, I will probably still get a copyright violation, but I think I won't get thrown off like that night I fucking played the Jubilee. I guess some things are just more strict than others, but that Jubilee channel hit me with a copyright infringement that threw my live stream off. And but like the Trump and Aiden Ross interview, I reviewed that on here, played the whole thing, and I got hit with a copyright there, but it didn't knock me off my fucking stream. It didn't knock the channel down. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck if I should really play this. I think I will try. And I'm not even with the thumbnail and everything. It's not, if this stream gets completely copyright violated and throttled a little bit, it's not a big deal. I'm just fucking whatever. Just in case anyone in the chat didn't know, my new parody. I'm gonna play it here. I've made up my mind just now. We might watch a debate too. So let's get to the fucking shit here. My song, my new song. I guess I'll go to where should I go? Twitter. Um, should I got it everywhere. Let's see. Let me pull up my Twitter real quick. I'll screen share. I like to pull it up before I screen share just to make sure there aren't any, isn't any gay stuff happening. Sometimes I made a separate Twitter so that I could watch and post pornography or prawn. I think I'm supposed to say prawn. I can watch gay prawn and post my own prawn. And I made a separate Twitter for that, and still sometimes there's a couple people on my regular Twitter that I follow, and sometimes I'll just be scrolling, and it's like it's something nasty. It's like, God damn it! I just want to keep this on the other page. Okay, we're here. Um, Anybody else watch Gay Prawn? Okay, I see I've lost a couple of viewers talking about Gay Prawn. Let's go. Screen share. We're just gonna go over the new parody. Anybody hasn't heard it yet, I'll show it to you real quick. And pretty please, if you see it somewhere, share it. In fact, go find it and share it if you are my friend or a subscriber here on YouTube. Thank you, please and thank you. Okay, am I? What's our display look like? Fuck, get my big head out of here. How do we want? Okay, that's fine. All right, you guys ready? Sterling Harvey, what's up? Thanks for coming and hanging. Thanks for saying hi in the chat. What's up? What's up? How's it going? We're just playing my. This is my brand new Tim Walz parody. Um, I don't know. Bubba played it today, but they played it on the after show. I guess they got tight for time or whatever on the main show. They played it like first thing on the after show, but they didn't have the video. The video I just released this like an hour and a half ago. Hook up your Bluetooth speaker real quick. Go ahead, go for it. Um, but yeah, anyway, I've been talking about this. It's just like, I actually took a little bit of time on the video. I've been putting work and real thought into stuff and trying to make something worth watching. Um, and I feel like the video I made for this just fits it so perfectly. I've been really God, I don't give myself enough credit. I've just been killing it lately. Is your goddamn speaker hooked up, Blummels? I'm pressing play. All right, let's get to it here. From the top, it's called, in case anybody doesn't know, this is a parody of the song by Motley Crue, the song titled Smoking in the Boys' Room. Famous Motley Crue song. My song here is titled Tampons in the Boys' Room. It's about Tampon Tim, as they call him. From the top, here we go. 3, 2. I'm probably going to start and stop this so that maybe I don't get hit with a copyright. 1, play.
Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Walz is trending on social media as Tampon Tim.
Republicans are calling it Tampon Tim.
Republicans on social media referring to him as Tampon Tim.
So Tampon Tim.
Online, the trending thing is Tampon Tim.
If you haven't heard, it's called Tampon Tim.
Democrat buffoons have been making me gag. Kamala's VP pick is a real douchebag. She got nominated, some call it a coup. Tim Walz got picked because Democrats hate Jews. Tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room.
Oh, fuck. You guys don't know. I had to search far and wide for confused looking kids just looking puzzled while this bitch does, oh my God, I edited this so well. All right, I have to start and stop. Maybe I won't get hit with a copyright deal. I had to search so far. I was like, I need like a tampon demonstration video, and then I need to find footage of boys that look confused, genuinely confused, and maybe scared. And I found it, okay? I found it. Dark Match Steve was on it.
Tim Walz must have been high on shrooms when he passed a law to put tampons in the boys' room.
And he signed a bill allowing pedophiles to claim human rights protections under the state law.
Oh my God, is that true? Wow. Jesus Christ, no way. That's true. What, like, I don't know. I don't know how these fucking Democrats get themselves into positions like this where they're defending PDF files. It's just so weird. How are you riding the pendulum and you've swung that far and you probably don't even realize it? Or, it's the planned destruction of an entire generation or something,
Tim Walz signed some bills throughout his career. He got tampons for young boys to stick in their rear. If he gets elected, we'll have no border wall, and pedophilia won't be illegal at all.
Okay, I haven't talked about this clip on here. This is Tim Walz interacting with these little kids. Now, part of this clip I played before because this is on the tarmac when this is the same angle. It might not be the same cameraman, but it's the same angle as that video where they're asking him about stolen valor, and he just gets the fuck out of there. He just fucking books it. He fucking... Bro, and they yell at him a couple times, and these little girls, they fucking turn around and look at the camera like, what did he steal? What's happening? And he just gets the fuck out of there. But in this video, which I'll play this one after I play the rest of the song, we'll come back to it. But the way he interacts with kids is just like, this guy is actually really creepy and weird. And it's a shame that the Republicans let Tim Walz create the weird meme for this election cycle. You know, he claimed the word weird, just like fake news, how Trump, people associate the term fake news with Trump saying it, and that's like a conservative meme, like, oh, that's fake news. But Trump, I think, quoted that was, he stole that from some, it's like CNN or some shit. He stole that from, but he made it his meme for that, that season or whatever, that era. And it's a shame that the Republicans let this fucking creep, this goddamn abomination of a human being, he has claimed the word weird and is using it on JD Vance, and we'll get to more shit about JD Vance today, but it's a shame because he is actually really weird. The things that he's signed and then the way he's interacting with these kids. And I feel like when I've seen this clip a few different times, this ain't the best quality here because I've had to, copy and whatever. But this lady, some of these, I feel like her face is looking at him even like, why is he so giddy talking to these little girls? Just like the way he interacts with them is so just, it's like my creep alarm goes off. It's just a thing, whether you sense it or you don't. But anyway, let's finish the rest of this song and we'll go analyze this clip again.
Tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room. Tim Walz must have been high on shrooms when he passed a law to put tampons in the boys' room.
But Tim
That was Minnesota burning. That was footage from Minnesota.
Walz, the communist governor of Minnesota, the BLM riots guy, the tampons in the men's bathroom guy, that's the BB.
Dan Bongino. All right. What's up, chat? What do you think? Did you like it? Catchy tune. Thank you. This shit bangs. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Twitter is so much better since Elon bought it. Some people take advantage of the free speech, but it was so bad before when Dorsey ran it. Elon needs to move any of his companies out of California. Yeah, you know what? It's so funny how it's so funny how people bitch now. I love seeing like Destiny and fucking Pisco and any of these fucking people. I think Pisco's left wing. I don't know. I've just followed Pisco. I know he talks to fucking Destiny a lot. Or Vosh. Any of these fucking people, these Democrat voters, but hosts, they're talking head streamers, just different personalities on the left. To see them bitch about Elon Musk, personally endorsing Trump and some of Elon Musk's tweets about endorsing Trump and liking him and all this shit. Listening to them bitch about that is just, it's so good. It's pleasing because the people that, I guess I've leaned right. I've voted for Trump a bunch. I don't consider myself a conservative. I'm not a registered Republican, but we always said it back then that you got to be careful letting these, you think it's real funny now that all of us Republicans and conservatives are people that aren't on the far left. They're getting blacklisted and throttled and fucked with online all the time. And they see a disadvantage, and there's the cards are stacked against them because of the people running these social media sites being so extreme to one side. And they just ignored it. It was all fun and games. And then here we are. You guys are bitching like, oh, wow, we finally realized like maybe it's not great to, to have what is essentially the town square be moderated by people that are so far on one side of the spectrum. It's a really simple concept, but it took them being the victims of it before they truly appreciated how bad that is. So, I mean, you know, Elon Musk, him endorsing Trump and stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about seeing Jack Dorsey do it, but I don't know that I'd be bitching and whatever. I mean, only thing I don't like is noticeably being throttled and deleting hashtags and stories from Twitter because it doesn't suit the Democrats. It's something about Hunter Biden or fucking pizza stuff, pizza parties, you know, all that stuff just gets fucking regulated on down to nothing. And that's what I'm worried about. I don't give a fuck if Jack Dorsey wants to, you know, suck off Barack Obama. That's not, I don't care. He can talk about it all day. I really don't care. Am I still on my Twitter page? What are we doing here? Oh, Nick Fuentes. So I don't know if anyone else didn't plan on talking about this at all, but it's kind of funny seeing if you guys don't know, I'm sure you know there's this is a filthy side of Twitter that I'm engaging with here, but I do follow Nick Fuentes. And if you guys don't know, Tucker Carlson, who the fuck was he talking to? Was it Dave Smith or I forget? Tucker. There's a clip of Tucker Carlson going around where he's talking about certain people were at January 6th and they were screaming telling people to break into the Capitol, actually directing crowds of people to break into the Capitol and saying it over and over again. And some of those people that did that, there's a couple, high, well-known people. There's a couple of them that just didn't get any heat from the police or the federal government. And it's just like, it's too weird, too coincidental. And one of them is fucking Nick Fuentes, who is he's like, you know, he just got back on Twitter after Elon Musk took over. He got banned for, you know, I've talked about him on here before, and you know, it's funny that some of the controversial stuff that people point out about him saying is not even really that controversial most of the time. It's like something that's not even, I don't know. I'm when people say he's the basically Hitler, okay, and then they play clips, I'm like underwhelmed by the evidence they have. But anyway, he is a huge anti-Israel mouthpiece. And he's kind of feuding with Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson is insinuating he's a fucking agent. And here we are, Nick Fuentes. And by the way, if Tucker has any suspicion that I'm a federal agent, he can always just call up his father, CIA agent, or his close friend, Eric Prince, CIA agent, and ask them. Or just ask me and follow me, ask me and allow me to give my side of the story. Or am I somehow worse than Kevin Spacey? Which, honestly, you know what? Good point. He's talking to fucking Kevin Spacey, who's has multiple victims of his, what the shady stuff that he was doing. I don't want to get hit by YouTube for whatever explaining what Kevin Spacey did to people, but go look it up. Okay, what people accuse Kevin Spacey of doing to them, and there's like 2 or 3 of those people are dead. Those people died in suspicious circumstances before going to trial. So it's weird how you see, I've heard it multiple times from people I consider fairly credible about stuff. Like Jay on Bubba's show, Jay Diaco. And I mean, I get that people see whatever, and there isn't really, it seems almost like a trivial thing that it's like, okay, Kevin Spacey was found guilty. That's strange. Okay, moving on. They see a headline and they're just like, all right, moving on. But they don't, you must not know that his multiple victims, alleged victims of Kevin Spacey, were dead before they went to trial. That I don't know that exactly exonerates him. I don't think that proves his innocence. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that. Gotta go. What the fuck? Blummels. All right, I'm shutting this fucking stream down. Good night. Good night. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Let's go back. Where all right, let's look up in case y'all didn't know yet. I don't know if you guys had seen JD Vance. People are flipping out about this JD Vance picture. Now, look at this. The other parody guys are texting me right now, and they're not even in my fucking stream. You need to be in my chat if you want to talk to me right now, you motherfuckers. New comment. Someone's commenting on something. This picture. Have you guys seen this yet? Have you guys seen that fucking JD Vance? Yeah, I was kidding, Sterling. Thanks for thanks for chilling. Thanks for hanging with me. Yeah, this is the new picture going around. This is supposedly JD Vance as a chubby little, high schooler with 3 girls in the bathroom. DailyMail.com has obtained a photo of JD Vance posing with 3 female classmates in a boys' restroom during his senior year of high school in Ohio. I don't see, I mean, am I completely stupid? What's the big deal? I thought this was the girls' room because this is exactly what it looked like when I would go into the girls' restroom. That's where I used to pee when I was in high school. I peed in the girls' restroom. They were just a lot nicer in there, and they don't mind being right next to each other at the stall. Okay, they don't need to space. You men are so insecure that you need a whole urinal between a space of a urinal in between the two of you while you pee. And the girls aren't like that. The girls are really friendly. They'll lean over and hold it for you. No, yeah, so what is this now? Picture of JD Vance in drag. What the fuck? I didn't know about this. Oh no, he's a fag. I'm just kidding. I'm gay. I can say that word. Okay. Whoever, YouTube. Oh fuck, I'm on Twitch too. I hope no one report me on Twitch. Okay, I'm allowed to use that word. Daily Mail. Here we go. So what are people? This dude is so damn weird and creepy. This is what I'm talking about. I have to play armchair quarterback and tell the Republicans, you fucked up. You were supposed to take the weird meme. You were supposed to use that against the fucking weirdo Tim Walz. How can you let a man that provided, he signed a bill to make it to where tampons were put in the boys' restroom? He signed that bill. And then also, as Trump said, I didn't even look into this at all, but it seems that it's true that fucking he wanted to extend civil rights or whatever the fuck, protecting pedophiles from whatever. I mean, if he signs any law to cater to pedophiles in PDF files, sorry, I don't think I'm allowed to keep saying that word either on here. Anyway, if he's doing any legal actions, policies, anything that's to cater to PDF files, I don't like it. Most other people, I think you should not like it as well. And regardless of whether you're like, oh, maybe I could or couldn't support that, you are letting the guy that did that protecting PDF files, providing tampons for little boys in the boys' room. That guy, you let him use the word weird. You let him take that word. Yeah, how are you people that fucking? How are you that stupid that you let that guy make the weird meme about one of your guys? This is more normal than anything Tim Walz has been involved with in his whole life. Tim Walz thinks there should be tampon dispensers right here above the urinals. Okay, that is weird. This of a senior in just a funny picture like this. This is a funny picture. What's the problem? Are people really flipping? Like, this has to be like manufactured. JD Vance revolution. JD Vance is a trans ally. This has to be just like fake outrage, right? Because this is a funny picture. This is like a funny, like, I don't know what in Ohio. I could see in Ohio, I could see this being in the yearbook. For sure, Ohio. There's been worse. They've probably had dead bodies, from a shooting in a yearbook. Chalk outlines in a yearbook. A kid was shot at this school, Ohio. Gang shootings. What the hell? See, this is what I'm talking about. I got to be careful scrolling here. What is this? Warp Tour 97. You're done now. Yeah, no, that's pretty funny. Exactly. I don't get it. He's with a row of hot chicks that are pretending to pee. Well, a couple hot chicks and one tank. One absolute unit and two little cute ladies. And they think that this is, I don't know. I saw rumors also on Twitter about that Trump was considering getting rid of JD Vance now. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. Again, I've said this already. Fucking, I don't like JD Vance that much. I don't like him at all. And I do think he looks a little weird. I don't think he's actually that weird. I mean, this picture makes me think less that he's weird. This is funny. This is a funny picture. Back then, I could see this being a real hit. This picture going around the school and the fucking principal or somebody wouldn't come and get him expelled, or these three chicks, that's who they'd probably be expelling for being in the boys' room or something. I mean, this is a fun. JD Vance should be sharing this picture, okay? He should be reposting this. Like, look at how much fun we used to have before cell phones. This is a Polaroid. This is a fucking Polaroid picture. It took like 3 seconds for it to take. You had to hold really still, but this popped right out of the camera. I don't know. I don't really see what the problem is with this. I guess left-wing people are using it, or is it right-wing people pretending that left-wing people are using it? I don't fucking know. Does anybody give a fuck about this picture? Oh, wow. He got shot.
And a woman that looks like that.
People are just now seeing this? This is old.
You know,
this is do you have you guys seen this? This is Rainey, the Oklahoma realtor. What's up? Understand any reasoning from this? Yeah. Yes, that's the idea. If you're still in here, Rainey, are they tampons for girls who are transitioning? Yes, I think that's the idea. But I was thinking about this, and I mean, it's. Oh, thank you, Rainey. I don't know exactly, I'm just making a meme out of the tampon thing. I think it is weird, and at one of the negative things, it's stupid either way. See, um yeah, I think it's supposed to be girls that are transitioning into guys, and so they use the men's room, and they want to make sure that they have access to, whatever. It does seem to me, like in California, there's law, supposedly, I guess I could look this up, but from what I've heard, there's a law that they're not supposed to. We watched the debate between Dennis Prager and Destiny, and Dennis Prager brought up that California has this law where the teachers, if they know that a kid is identifying as a different gender, they're transitioning or whatever, the teachers aren't allowed to tell the parents. It's not just that they can opt out to not disclose that to parents, that they're allowed to not tell them. And this is what I'm worried about. If we're going to get down to brass tacks here, this is what I'm worried about with the tampons in the restroom thing. If I'm making a joke out of it with the song, and it's, I'm kind of just wanting to get clicks out of a meme and whatever. But if we're being real, I think this is part of the issue, is that it kind of almost hints at another aspect of the Democratic Party supporting uh, kids transitioning without their parents' consent. And this is, it might be a little bit of a reach to some people, and, maybe a stupid connection. I don't think so. To me, it makes sense. Like, you're providing tampons in a different restroom for kids that young that are transitioning that young. I mean, it just seems like whatever. And who the fuck? I mean, of course, just seeing a tampon, boys, genetically, biological boys seeing tampons in the restroom, is that going to kill them seeing a tampon dispenser? No. But is that going to make them like think weird shit? And like, who the fuck knows? It's such a slippery slope. I think it's probably not a great thing for boys that are that young, that don't know shit about girls having periods and all of that stuff, that they need to see a tampon dispenser and think that they're supposed to shove that somewhere or something. I don't know. But anyway, um yeah, to me, my worry with this whole thing is, it's like, oh, a girl that might be on the fence about transitioning into a male might be like, oh, well, they have the tampons in the men's room now, so I can go to the men's room. And I've kind of been thinking about, like, I feel a little bit masculine sometimes. I'm like a tomboy, and now I can just go to the men's room, and maybe I'll just stop wearing skirts and stuff too. And it goes, it's like, to me, if I'm being completely, if I'm being nice about it, it's like, if you transition in a lot of, in depending on how far you go with it, you are not able to have children. And the same thing with being homosexual. And I'm gay, and so this is a thing that I realized it years ago. But it sometimes it's not till you get a little older that you're like, oh yeah, so banging who you think is just like hot, trying to have hookup sex or just like whatever, that's not the end all be all. Like, it's like, I'm gay, so I can't fucking have kids. I can't create a family. It sucks. And to encourage that in any aspect for a little kid, a confused kid, I think that's where it crosses the line to being a negative thing. It's like, okay, well, if you're encouraging puberty blockers and this kind of thing at a young age, it's not like it's some inconsequential thing. you're affecting that person's future. And the name of the game, I mean, I know society just likes to, the way things have sort of evolved in Western culture, where kind of everybody's like, oh yeah, you got to grind, um, get a job and work as much as you can and fucking get that money and get some pussy and whatever. Like, yeah, it's like hedonistic. And so people aren't really thinking as much about that. They want to they're not thinking about the future of mankind. The name of the game is reproduction, and people are trying to sort of like be like, oh yeah, well, you should just we'll encourage more women to be independent women and tell them they don't need no man, and that they should go and just pursue a career like a man. And then you've got these guys, and you can tell them that they're allowed to be flamboyant and all of this other shit. And then there's xenoestrogens and all of the food, and certain low levels of glyphosate imitate estrogen as well, and that's all over all the food. And then there's fluoride in all of the water, and then you've got all of these factors that they tie in together. Everybody getting raised by single moms and female teachers in the classroom, and it's like all of this stuff goes together. And and then it's like, oops, I can't have children. Oops, the birth rate has dropped to a low. It's below replacement rate. Oops, that's mankind. Goodbye. Flush the toilet. Anyway, well, that was a long rant from how did I get on that? Somebody clip that. Okay, no, but here we go. Here's Trump with it. In case y'all haven't seen this, this is Trump with Rudy Giuliani. This is Rudy Giuliani in drag. Have you guys seen this? I saw this the first time I saw it. I did not realize this was Rudy fucking Giuliani in drag getting groped by Donald Trump. Okay, from the top.
You're really beautiful. And a woman that looks like that has to have her own special scent.
Oh, thank you. Maybe you could tell me what you think of this scent.
It's Rudy Giuliani.
I like that.
This may be the best of all. Oh, you dirty boy! You. Oh. Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
You can't say I didn't try.
What a dog. What an absolute dog. Have you guys seen this? Have you guys seen this? No, Sterling Harvey. You have not. Have you seen this? Bro, Trump is so funny. Yeah, he is. I mean, I can't lie. I wish we had a lot better options for presidential candidates. But Trump, if I have to have a politician, it'll be Trump. Yeah, Sterling Harvey. This shit is fucking. It's funny. It's old. Obviously, you can see it's old. This is from like what, 90 something, 2000 something. I don't know. Oh, Big E, what's up, bro? How's it going? Thanks for hanging. What's up? Thanks for joining the chat. SNL skit. I don't know when the fuck. No, it wasn't SNL. I don't think so. I don't remember what the fuck this was for. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I'm gonna open up a new tab. How do you fucking spell Giuliani? Trying to find out where the fuck this thing came from. 2000s, the skit. Here, I'll screen share this article. Let's just take a look at this. Because I never looked this up before. Unearthed sketch features Donald Trump flirting with a drag-dressed Rudy Giuliani in 2000. So I was right. I said 90s or 2000. It was right in between. A decades-old video featured President Trump. Personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani has resurfaced amid Trump's impeachment inquiry and questions surrounding the former New York City mayor's level of involvement. Clip was first brought back into the public eye in 2016 when Stephen Colbert, who was prodding around on the internet under Giuliani's orders to Google Hillary Clinton illness, unearthed an old video sketch that featured Trump motorboating the Republican who was dressed in drag. Stop! What is this shit popping up? The skit, which was recorded for 2000's Inner Circle show, an annual event put on by media to poke fun at the New York City mayor and other local political figures, including Trump pretending to flirt with Giuliani as he wore a wig and a dress. You know, you're really beautiful. Trump, now 73, said to Giuliani, 75, as he tried on perfume at a department store counter. So, yeah, we saw the video. Oh, you dirty boy. No, that's funny. I never looked that up. So this is what the fuck is this thing called again? Inner Circle show. That that doesn't sound a little sketchy at all. The big club and you're not in it show. What is that? Let's look that up. Google, what's the Inner Circle show? God damn it. 2000 Inner Circle show. What? This better not pull up no gay stuff. I told you I don't want that on my Inner Circle show. Inner Circle member. You know what? This just looks sketchy. This website is not it's weird. Larry Sutton. What is this? Inner Circle Writing Committee. So what, this is a group of reporters, I guess? Does anybody know what the fuck we're looking at right now? Buzzard Bob. What's up, Buzzard Bob? Thanks for coming and hanging again. Is this the real one or the other one? Or is this Carrie Underwood? Is this Hootie pretending to be Carrie Underwood, pretending to be Buzzard Bob? I don't care. I just appreciate you being here. It doesn't matter who you are. Okay. I've seen enough. Trump is part of the Illuminati. Gabe Pressman, Inner Circle, Dean, dead at 93. Hey, God damn it. Come back here. Yo, this fucking, I'm getting off this website. I don't like the way this, I don't like it. I don't like it. Where are we? What the fuck are we doing here? Oh, Let me play the rest, or did I play this whole thing? I'm gonna pull something else up on my Instagram.
You know, you're really beautiful. And a woman that looks like that has to have her own special scent.
Oh, thank you. Maybe you could tell me what you think of this scent.
Giuliani's a freak. This is what I was talking about. These, you know what? These guys, they're all doing this down at the Bohemian Grove in front of a giant owl statue, okay? They have no problem doing this inside of J.C. Penney's. No, it's weird. This is what they're doing. And this, I remember I said Tim Walz in the one video of Tim Walz when if you look up Kamala Harris where she's like, "Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. You over there. Good evening." She says it's a whole crowd of people. She's saying good evening to every like single person in the crowd, that video. And Tim Walz is behind her and he's just like, you know, tweaking out. He's like, and like just doing all these movements. And I'm telling you, I said it that night. I said, this man has worn a wig before. He went like this. Like he's getting hair out of his face without touching it with his hands. And here we have Giuliani in a wig. I'm telling you, all of these politicians wear wigs. And Tim Walz definitely does because he publicly. Rainey, are you still in here? I know you're a woman and have long hair. That's the thing that you do when you have long hair as a woman, and Tim Walz is a bald fuck. So we know it's a wig. He wears wigs. Are you still in here, Rainey? Yes. Bubba Biden sniffs them all. What happened? What's happening in here? Yeah, sweep it over out of the eyes. Yes, but he did it like without his hand. Should I pull up the Anyway, what else was I going to get to on my goddamn Twitter? God damn it. Rainey, did you hear my new parody song yet? How do I get to my page? I'm used to using this on my phone. New parody song. I'll stop at the clip that I was talking about here. Oh, wait, there's two parts I wanted to stop at in here, so we'll kind of go through this again. I swear I'll get on to something else, okay, people?
Trending on social media as Tampon Tim.
Republicans are calling it Tampon Tim.
Republicans on social media referring to him as Tampon Tim.
So Tampon Tim.
Online, the trending thing is Tampon Tim.
If you haven't heard, it's called Tampon Tim.
All right, Rainey, the clip is coming up right here where he's standing. Tim Walz is, I think this is from the same night. He's standing behind Kamala while she's talking, and she gets stuck in a loop, you know. She's just going, good evening, you know. She's on pills or something and can't think of the next thing to say. Her brain is just like, you know, not even working properly. She's probably going to be the next president, and she can't even speak. So anyway, but as she's doing that, he's behind her, and he's sort of tweaking out, and you'll see the head motion. You'll see it. I think I have it in this clip.
Democrat buffoons have been making me gag. Kamala's VP pick.
That right there. I know I sound crazy. That right there, though. This man has worn a wig before.
Kamala's VP pick is a real douchebag. She got nominated, some call it a coup. Tim Walz got picked because Democrats hate Jews. Tampons in the boardroom. Tampons in the boardroom. Tim Walz must have been high on shrooms when he passed a law to put tampons in the boardroom.
And he signed a bill allowing pedophiles.
He signed a bill allowing pedophiles to pre-use the tampons.
To claim human rights protections under the state law.
Tim Walz signed some bills throughout his career. He got tampons for young boys to stick in their rear. If he gets elected, we'll have no border wall.
This is Tim Walz signing the driver's license for all bill in Minnesota. Hell yeah. All these people They just get free licenses. And we swear to God, they're not going to go vote. We swear.
And pedophilia won't be illegal at all.
Pedophilia won't be illegal. Oh, shit. I'm not supposed to say that word on here. Kid touching won't be illegal at all. This guy dancing, this guy with the little kids, this is at Pride, at a Pride parade. Little kids standing around watching a disgusting old gay dude twerking and gyrating sexually. All these little kids watching this in this gay pride parade. Where was this at? Oh, Minnesota. Tim Walz was watching this happen as it happened. But I mentioned this clip earlier from my video here. The way that Tim Walz interacts with these Girl Scouts is a little bit like suspect to me. So I'll start and stop it. That clip right there. None of these girls said anything funny or like shocking enough to make someone react like that. It's not possible. This guy is creep level 1000. We haven't even seen his full power yet. This may actually be Tim Walz. I think it's him, the gyrating old guy.
Illegal at all. Tampons in the boys' room. Tampons in the boys' room. Tim Walz must have been high on shrooms when he passed a law to put tampons in the boys' room.
God damn, I'm brilliant. Dan Bongino.
Tim Walz, the communist governor of Minnesota, the BLM riots guy, the tampons in the men's bathroom guy. That's the BB.
Oh, that doesn't look good. There you have it. He's not your type. What, the gyrating old guy? No, and I'm not his type. I think his type is little kids. You should have put more horsecock. Well, you know what? I just saw that floating around on Twitter. It's completely unsubstantiated, but I thought that video that someone edited his face onto that, I thought it was funny enough. So I was like, you know what? I'm including it. I'm putting it in there. I don't care if that's completely made up. It's just it's funny. Where are we at here? What was I something else on my Twitter? What was I going to do on Twitter? I think that might have been it on here. Nick Fuentes. Last night I streamed talking about this fuck, Corey Feldman. Don't make me get started again. Worst musician of all time. Worst musician in the history of mankind. All right, I'll go to Insta here. There's a funny story I saw here. I want to see what you guys think of this. How do we make sense of this? Did I have what the? No, stop it. Am I still screen sharing Twitter? Hope no gay stuff pops up. Going live, new tampon. Okay, some people are reposting and stuff. Alrighty. We'll go to where are we at? Instagram. Oh, I got a screen share on this. So yeah, this story. I don't know what the fuck. I guess I'll look up if it's if there's an article somewhere that explains this, because I haven't looked it up at all. But what the fuck do we have here? Apparently, a Secret Service agent abandoned her post yesterday at Trump's rally in North Carolina to breastfeed her baby. You've got to be kidding me. unquote. I don't know what, like, there's so much wrong. This is like one of those sentences where it's like there's so much wrong with the sentence that you're just like, where do we even start? She left to breastfeed her baby. Why the fuck is there a baby there? Why is there a baby there? How does a Secret Service agent keep her baby with her while she's on the job? Is she using her baby as a fucking human shield? Is the Secret Service taking self-defense advice from fucking Hamas? They're using Hamas techniques, human shields. She's literally wearing her baby as a bulletproof vest. And people are actually really shooting at Trump. Like, you'd think if Trump got shot at already, that you wouldn't bring your kid you're a Secret Service agent, and maybe you'd think, okay, Trump's actually getting shot at. I think I'm going to leave the kid at home. And just for 8 hours of its miserable little life, it can drink some formula. Or I can pre-pump the breast milk so I don't get my kid's head shot in. I don't know. Oh, is this God damn you, Instagram. It doesn't let you start and stop over. I got no bar underneath to navigate here.
That is really supposed to get underway. A Secret Service agent apparently breaking numerous policies and protocols. I've asked the U.S. Secret Service if they could clarify whether all the details of this report are accurate. And at this point in time, we are waiting for further clarification.
The Secret Service detail that's guarding former President Donald Trump. So this coming from Real Clear Politics, reporting that a female Secret Service agent abandoned her post in North Carolina to breastfeed her baby during Trump's visit yesterday to the Tar Heel state. The report says about 5 minutes before Trump's motorcade arrived, the site agent who manages security for the entire event did a final sweep of the location.
And while walking the route, the site agent reportedly found the Secret Service special agent in question breastfeeding with 2 other family members present in a room that's supposed to be set aside for official business, like an emergency involving the president. The report says the special agent did not have permission to leave her post and gave no warning prior to the event that she needed personal time. Working Secret Service agents are prohibited from bringing children or any family members, for that matter, on a protective assignment.
All right, still working on clarification and details on this.
What the fuck? So they aren't supposed to have the kid there. JD Vance can drag up and feed the baby. Yeah, Rudy Giuliani whipped out one of his tits. And it was sprayed in perfume, and the baby loved the scent so much he just latched right on. And Trump was latched on to the other one. No, yeah, so the Secret Service is clearly just a clown show. I could go apply tomorrow and they would let me work for them. And that's how you know it's a red flag. Anybody that would hire me, it's a red flag right there. Well, that's depressing. That's who's protecting the president right there. A 3-month-old baby is part of the Secret Service. They got a baby on duty. That's who was supposed to be covering Trump when he got shot in Pennsylvania. It was supposed to be a 3-month-old baby, and he wasn't at his post. All right. Let's get to so what time is it? Fuck, it's 9:12 already. Oh, damn. I had a possible Oh, well, my internet's dropping right now anyway. I got to move my laptop 1 inch. Look at that. I move it an inch closer to the router and my internet comes back some. I moved it an inch. What am I doing here? No, so there was a little debate deal that came up. I don't know. It's already 9:12. I might save it for tomorrow. I don't want to even tell you guys what debate I had planned. I got two that we might look at. Do y'all want to stay on here a little bit later, or should I get off now? Does anybody want to watch a debate with me? Do a debate breakdown? It's 9:15 almost. What are we thinking in the chat? How do I get off of this fucking shit? Look at Instagram complete. Oh, that Bubba Army liked my reel. Brandon O'Neill liked my reel. I'm getting so screwed over by Instagram. I know I talk about it all the time. I'm getting completely screwed. I have thousands of followers, and they show my shit to 7:15 in New Mexico. All right, let's pull up the fucking let me see here. Let me see. This is a surprise debate. Sure, X out of that. Screen share. We'll pull this up. I'll put it at 1.5 speed. Maybe we'll get through it not too late. Surprise. And look, you can see I've only watched a couple minute and 42 seconds. And I was like, you know what? This is
I just got the most exciting package. Caraway.
Short enough debate that I could put it up tonight. We could review it. So this is Mike Lindell. This is kind of crazy. This is an ad for Caraway cookware, and they're a little bit late getting to me because I just bought stainless steel stuff and I don't need a whole fucking set for like $600. So sorry, Caraway, you wasted your money.
Make 100% non-toxic cookware that is so
sample in that.
Okay, so this is Mike Lindell. Who I don't know who this other guy is, like the head of the fucking software company, owner of Simpatico software. So if anybody is paying attention here, this is the shady this could be heated. Mike Lindell, who was saying that the Trump election was stolen and all that. I didn't really analyze Mike Lindell's stuff. I never got a chance to really dive into the shit that he was saying was wrong with the election. I know stuff that I saw myself. So I always was sympathetic to him, but never really looked into it that much. But yeah, and here's the guy he's debating here, Ken Block, is the owner of Simpatico software, I guess the software that's in the voting machine. So let's see where this goes, because I haven't watched it. I was only a minute something in here. So let's see.
It is great to welcome to the program today Ken Block, owner of Simpatico Software Systems and author of Disproven, My Unbiased Search for Voter Fraud.
So, and I don't know if anyone, I'm not sure. Someone else in the chat might know more about what Mike Lindell said. Maybe Airplane Willie. Somebody might know more. But in theory, I'm thinking Mike Lindell probably misrepresented. He's going to probably claim Mike Lindell misrepresented the voter fraud present within the voting machines, or the possibilities for voter fraud. So Mike Lindell's probably talked a lot of shit about the voting machines, and this guy is it's his software in the voting machines. I think this is what we're getting into here, so this could get really heated.
For the Trump campaign, the data that shows why he lost and how we can improve our elections, and also Mike Lindell, CEO and inventor, founder of MyPillow, known almost just by the single word pillow increasingly in modern society. It's really incredible. Listen, gentlemen, I know that you two have different perspectives on what happened in 2020. And as we think about what may happen in 2024, I think it would be interesting to have a conversation about it. Let me first go, because to me, the default is the election was not stolen. So if someone is making the positive case that it was, I think it's fair to start there. Mike, at this point, where do you look? Which states do you point to? What is the mechanism through which you believe the 2020 election was stolen?
Well, I'm, as you know, since the spring of 2021, I've been all about getting rid of electronic voting machines and going to paper ballots and count. It's all about the election platforms. The 2020 election was just the, I guess, the eye opener that there was problems with computers throughout our country, and that was everywhere. That wasn't a, I went and bought everybody's voter rolls for the 2020 election. And for example, in the state of Alabama, I went and met with that Secretary of State. He had 4,600 and some people that voted that were over the age of 110. Now, that doesn't mean they voted for Trump or Biden. That just means there's a problem with our computers, because obviously nobody voted at that age.
Okay, so if maybe to focus this in a little,
thousands of voters that were over the age of 110. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Airplane. Well, the issue Lindell has is taking his hard and full right stance. Full right or full left is no good for getting people on board. Yeah, I hear you there. I really don't know what, I mean, I know he's on the right side of the spectrum here, but I don't know what his claims about the election were. I really don't. I remember watching some stuff with him, but I never really looked into it myself. Watched a full video. I've seen clips of him saying stuff here and there, but I don't know shit.
A little more, because I think we would all agree that the rightful winner of Alabama was Donald Trump, and that had no real impact ultimately on getting to 270 electoral votes. Are there states, Mike, like, for example, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, which you believe were actually won by Donald Trump in 2020?
Oh, yeah, they all were. And when I say they all were, when you have these computers, it's like when you skim off of a casino. You can't just skim one game or even the food or a slot machine. You have to skim them all, or it'll stand out like a sore thumb. As we went into the night of in 2020, got into the early morning hours of November 4th, they stopped everything. That was a deviation. I always look at deviations.
They who and stopped what? Hold on, Mike. They who and stopped what? Just so Ken can respond substantively.
The election officials in all 5 of them states stopped, including North Carolina. They stopped counting. They said, we're going to stop counting. It had never happened before in history. Stop counting. And then we've seen these deviations come down. I'll give an example. One deviation in Michigan would be 106,000 votes came down for Biden and 3,000 for Donald Trump. And they said that was because there was the mail-in votes, when in Michigan, they were actually counted on the morning of the 3rd, not in the middle of the night on the 4th. Then you had Pennsylvania.
Well, let's just work with that, Mike. Let's just work with that.
I do want to add one more.
Okay.
Because it stands out so big. Pennsylvania ended up with more votes than voters, which has never been addressed. And it's never been addressed.
All right. Well, let's see if we can address it. Ken, Mike's made a number of specific assertions there. They stopped counting the votes. There were lopsided numbers of votes counted.
I mean, I don't know. Once Biden got inaugurated, I kind of, it might be lazy of me or something, but I kind of gave up with looking into and trying to prove and looking for clips of whatever to prove what the fuck happened then, because it's a mute point or a moot point. I don't know which term to use. Anyway, couldn't change anything about it. There's no way they're going to kick Biden out of office because they found evidence. It's just not going to happen. But I do remember, I mean, the cases that were brought to that Trump and Giuliani brought to the courts, the majority of them weren't, they weren't dismissed on the merit of the case. I mean, some of the cases, from what I've heard, I haven't looked into this that much, but some of them were just dismissed on the basis that they are claiming there was a certain amount of fraud. And so, Giuliani and or Trump or whoever on Trump's team demanded that they just throw out 1 million fucking votes or just, the demands they were asking for were enough for the courts to want to dismiss the cases. So all of the cases weren't dismissed on merit, if we're, getting down to the nitty gritty here.
There were more votes than voters in Pennsylvania. How does a guy like you, who was paid by the Trump campaign to look for some of this stuff, how do you react to what Mike says?
Yeah. So some of the claims require context, and some of the claims require proof that I have to take a look at. But I'm going to try and do them in the order in which Mike laid them out, just so I don't lose track of them.
Yeah.
Mike identifies a problem that's a real problem, which is I like to call it crappy data, for lack of a better word. And he called out Alabama, which, by the way, charges $37,000 for its voter data, which I find
it's what I paid for.
it's an outrageous thing that they do, and it's wrong all by itself. But at least you can get your data from Alabama. You can't get it from Massachusetts or Indiana or New Hampshire or a bunch of other states. I like to pick on New Jersey when we talk about crappy data. New Jersey has 25,000 voters with a year of birth of 1800. 8,000 of them voted in the 2020 election, but that's not fraud. What it is lousy data. Computer systems, when they don't know what a date is, if they don't have a date, they will default in a date like 1900 or 1800. So it's important to have some context to what it really means when you have voters who are impossibly old. It often means that election workers don't have that voter's date of birth, which by itself is a big problem, because if you don't know when the voter is born, you can't determine when they die.
So that's super interesting. So on that first one, Ken, what you're saying, when Mike says this number of people over age 110.
Wow, these computer systems that count our votes, and in the hands of which the fate of our country lies, they seem really reliable.
Voted in Alabama. What you're saying is, by virtue of knowing these systems, there's some default birth year that's put in there for people for whom they don't have a birth year. It is a problem, but it's not fraud.
In the case of New Jersey's data, where all of those voters share the year of 1800 for their year of birth.
Does the computer just put in a vote if the vote isn't read properly, or the vote isn't filled out in there, but there's a ballot and they didn't vote for president? Does it just fill in that too?
That's what explains it. If you see 1901, 1900, 1850, more often than not, those are default years of birth.
Okay.
That computer's just.
Well, hold on, Mike. You laid out a few things. Let's let Len. So that's an interesting one on that, Ken.
Promo code. What's up, bro? My lover, my friend. What's up, bro? How's it going? Thanks for coming to check out the show. Thanks for chilling in chat. I played my new parody earlier. I'm sure you've already seen it somewhere. It's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube also, and Twitter. And yeah, please give it a like and a repost and all that stuff. But I played it here on the live stream at the beginning. I probably got a copyright ding for that, but we'll see. Anyway, we're watching a little, the last thing we're doing here, this shouldn't take too long, but it's Mike Lindell debating with this guy who was involved with the voting machines for the 2020 election. So there's some heat right here. It's not cheap heat either. It's real heat.
Fair.
Yeah. So, but I applaud Mike for bringing that up and talking about it, because to have really good election integrity, you can't have it if you don't have all of the necessary identifying information for your voters, and that includes having the date of birth.
Okay.
So, and we could have an entire show just about crappy data, but we're going to.
I want to bring up crappy data though.
But wait, Mike, I don't want this to get so lopsided in opportunity to speak. Let's let Ken at least.
This ties right into what this exact thing before he moves on. One of the things he said, okay, when you say data, one of the things I looked at, this is very important, because this is why I'm involved with everything I'm involved in.
For anyone that doesn't know, this is the David Pakman show. I mean, he has some interesting guests on here and there. He's a smart dude. He kind of annoys me a little bit sometimes, but he's very, very far left. He's on the very opposite end of the spectrum here. So he's definitely on this guy's side. He's not a friend of Mike Lindell. They're not fans of each other.
In November and December of 2020, I spent every waking hour getting the voter rolls and stuff like he's talking about. Alabama cost me almost $40,000. But one of the things I found in the 2020 election, that people had voted in other states or in other counties they didn't live. Now, I had a hard time believing that people in Minnesota said, hey, there's 5,000 of us. Let's go jump into Wisconsin and vote for Biden. People are genuinely good people. And you had over 5,000 people that voted in Wisconsin that don't live there. And when they don't live there, these are the things. So is that bad data or what it is?
Well, that's a new claim though, Mike. In order to try to keep this, I want to try to move sequentially.
Well, it's a new claim, and he's making this claim because this doesn't this doesn't, this isn't, this claim, this Lindell's new claim that he's bringing up here is not easily explained away as just saying, oh, the fucking machine had an error and put that someone was born in 1805 because they didn't have their real birth date in there. But are the machines switching data to say that people are voting in a state while living in a completely different fucking state? Is this what your software is doing? Your very reliable software that definitely is not able to get hacked and is we're all fucked.
Through the claims, 5,000 from Minnesota voting in Wisconsin is a new claim. So let me go back to Ken. Ken, what about, for example, more votes than voters in Pennsylvania?
So I've heard that claim made before. I haven't seen, when you look at the actual number of votes cast, it's not bigger than the number of registered voters. I've never seen an actual official communication from a Secretary of State's office of Pennsylvania that shows that there were more votes that were cast.
I haven't either.
There are registered voters. So, we're not going to get to the heart of that one here today. But Mike, I'd be very interested in talking to you offline on where you get that data from, so I can go.
It's not the data. It's not the data. It's a fact. You could probably even Google it on the internet. There was over 400,000 more votes than voters. They certified anyway. And as it sits right now, it's about 80-some thousand in the 2020 election, more votes than voters. Like if we walked out of a room, there's 10 of us that voted. It comes back 15-5.
That would be an astonishing fact if it was true. I don't believe it's true, but I want to look for sure. I want to talk about the duplicate voter claim because in my work for the Trump campaign, not only did they ask my company to data mine for dead voters, to data mine for voters who were voting twice in 2 different states. We did this work for the campaign. We found hundreds of provable people who voted twice. And Mike, you used Wisconsin and Minnesota. Was that the?
No, absolutely not.
No, but hold on, Mike. Not absolutely not. You said 5,000 Minnesota voters went to Wisconsin.
You're cherry picking. No, you're cherry picking out. I'm giving you examples, David. You didn't sit here and tell me I had to come with all these sheets if you want. I could.
No. Present whatever you want.
Every single state in the 2020 election had people vote in that state that did not live in that state. That's a fact. You can check it out, every single one. Now, if you go to a county, at the county level, maybe when I check counties, let's say there's 100 people in the county, in my own county, that don't live there that voted. I don't believe that those people actually came in to commit a crime. I believe that their names were taken off the voter rolls. That's all, but done with computerized, done with computer.
Mike, you've made the claim. We have to allow Ken to address it. I think
there's a lot of editing here too, by the way. I don't know if, data mine my asshole. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of edits here. I wonder what is getting clipped out. And if you've noticed, all of the edits that have happened so far have been after Mike Lindell finishes a sentence and then it's clipped. So what are they? Lindell is saying some shit that's being edited out of this interview. I don't know if that's because it's against YouTube guidelines. Like, I don't think, I don't think you're supposed to talk about this election situation here. Anyway, I don't know.
Probably registered in more than one place at some point, which is completely legal. As long as I'm only voting in one place, I think that's fine. Hold on, Michael. Tiffany Trump, for example, I think was registered in 2 places. She only voted in one.
Vote in 2 places.
Ken, what about the voting where you don't live? Address voting where you don't live, Ken.
Okay, so there are 2 outcomes in voting where you don't live. One is you have somebody who lives in Idaho who casts a vote in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one example of a type of situation. The other type of situation is you have someone who takes 2 bites of the apple. They actually vote in 2 different places. Both of these situations happened in 2020. And when people took 2 bites of the electoral apple, they were committing a felony. When somebody lived in one state and voted in a different state, and I evaluated this specific claim for the Trump campaign, they brought it to my attention and they asked me to review it and vet it to see if it was going to survive legal scrutiny. And the claim was that in Georgia, 15,000 people cast votes in Georgia who didn't live there. And while it's true that there were people who cast votes in Georgia who didn't live there, where it gets tricky is a lot of those people were members of the military and they were serving at Fort Benning, which is one of the largest military installations in the country, more than 100,000 members of the military work there, and they cycle in and out of there all the time. And members of the military are allowed by law to vote where they're serving. So that claim would never have made it very far in the legal system, because that's the only place where these claims matter. If you're going to contest an election, and
he's trying to say Trump was going to throw out all of the military's votes. Oh fuck! That probably almost happened.
And you're going to try to get the results overturned in the legal system. If the claim isn't going to survive legal scrutiny, it's not a worthwhile claim. In this circumstance, there were more voters identified in Georgia than any other state who didn't live in Georgia but yet cast a vote there, and that maps on top of Georgia having the largest military installation in the country in the form of Fort Benning. So,
so like Mike, do you believe when Ken says that? Do you think Ken's confused? Do you think Ken's lying? Because he was paid to find this stuff by the Trump campaign.
Well, I got $30 million in this, David. I paid a little money out too. And here's what we did. I didn't concentrate on Georgia overturning any election. This has been 3 years where we're going, we need to get rid of the electronic voting machines, the computers. Here's what we did. Pick a county, pick any county. I'll pick Carver County, my county. We had canvassers go out. We got the voter rolls from the county, who voted, who was put on the voter rolls, and who voted in the election. We went out and it said, it was usually 6 people or more that it says lived in a house. Now, I lived here all my life. We went down, the canvassers go down, they knock on Amy Schultz or whatever, her house, and say, Amy, you're living here by yourself. It says 7 people here voted. Well, then we look at the names. She goes, no, it's just been me, like always. And we take the 6 people that voted. Now we investigate them. 4 of them live in another state. 2 of them are deceased, okay? So then we take those 4 and we reach out to them. Did you vote here? No, they did not vote there. The people, we contact the people. This is called canvassing, to physically back up what the data is saying. And the data says they voted in that county or that state. I'm not here to tell you something to overturn an election. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, and no one's brought that up, at least yet, Mike.
Right.
Mike, in terms of the view that Ken is presenting, though, like, do you think Ken's just wrong, or he is incompetent and couldn't find the fraud you claim exists? Like, what do you hear when Ken says this?
This has took me 3 years, and we also have a lot of other data to back this up. Under the Freedom of Information Act, we were able to get the cast vote records, which come out of the machines for 1/3 of the United States. So we take the cast vote records, we take the canvassing, the on-ground canvassing, and then we take the voter rolls and we combine all 3, and they all 3 match. No, but the only thing that they match, but the people didn't commit crime. Right? The people didn't go, I'm going to go vote twice. That's not true. You're going to have that. But these is in a massive scale, using names with the dirty voter rolls, like Wisconsin has 7.2 million names on their voter rolls. And if every registered voter voted in Wisconsin, it's 4.1 million. Why do they need those other 3 million names?
Okay, that's a good specific question, Mike. That's a good specific question, Mike. Ken, do you think Mike believes this stuff, or do you think Mike's confused?
Oh, I'm confident Mike fully believes this stuff. I mean, he has put his money where his mouth is. I don't think anybody can claim that Mike doesn't fully believe in what he's talking about. So I for that reason alone, I give him credit for his conviction for sure. Again, I'm trying to flow as we sort of jump from.
It's hard to do so, yeah.
To another, but what I'd like, I'm just trying to pick the thing that I think will have the most impact as we talk.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about electronic voting machines at a high level for a minute. Yes, if you don't protect yourself, you leave yourself open to either external forces hacking those machines, or somebody slipping some code in there potentially to alter the count itself, right? There's some nefarious computer hacking things that you can do. There are plenty of protective steps that you can take to minimize and eliminate the possibilities for that. I turn to the casino industry to look for that. You have slot machines, which are individual computers, and I do a lot of work with the gaming industry. You can absolutely.
I'm looking on right now. Oh God, my fucking internet's taking a shit now too. I'm looking on Twitter because I reposted at one point something with Fulton County. I believe it was Fulton County, where, again, I don't really know exactly, but it said something about hundreds of thousands of ballots that they didn't have. You're supposed to have like this matching, like, second paper or something that verifies the existence of the ballot or something like that. And there's like, I think the number was 300,000. So I'm letting this play while I look on my Twitter real quick. But yeah, let's keep
absolutely ironclad protect yourself from ensuring that the wrong software is not running in your slot machines and making other people rich who are just know how to game the system. You have no proof and there's no realistic outcome where a hand count is going to be more accurate than a machine count. And I'm just going to let's just talk about Maricopa County in Arizona, because that's been the punching bag for a lot of this.
Yep.
There's about 1.5 million votes cast in Maricopa in 2020. Each ballot that gets cast in Arizona has anywhere from 10, 20, maybe 30 different races on it. So imagine trying to hand count 30 million different vote tallies from 1.5 million ballots. It's a monumental effort, one that's almost certainly going to lead to errors, because human beings can't do a repetitive process like that in general anywhere near as capably and dependably as a computer to do it.
Well, let's ask Mike if he even would concede that. I'm curious, Mike, do you agree that the machines in general are more accurate at counting than people?
No, 1,000,000% no. I have met with UK officials, France, Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, met with them all, and we devised the best hand counting system in the world. It was used in Osage County, Missouri in an actual election 2 years ago. Democrats, Republicans working together. We got done at the same time in the machines with 100% accuracy. Now, Argentina last summer, a judge ruled there. I said, hey, we got to go to paper ballots hand counting. They can flip their country over, and they did it in 4 months faster than the Netherlands, which took 5 months. And Taiwan just did it. Ecuador just did it. All these countries have outlawed machines, computers around the world. The Philippines, they've all outlawed them. We just had, and when you talk about, he's using Maricopa County for an example. In the Kerry Lake race, remember, 242 machines went down at the same time. And when you talk about, he's using Maricopa County for an example. In the Kerry Lake race, remember, 242 machines went down at the same time. And that was impossible. They're not tied to the internet. So Democrats, Republicans working together. We got done at the same time in the machines with 100% accuracy. Now, Argentina last summer, a judge ruled there. I said, hey, we got to go to paper ballots hand counting. They can flip their country over, and they did it in 4 months faster than the Netherlands, which took 5 months. And Taiwan just did it. Ecuador just did it. All these countries have outlawed machines, computers around the world. The Philippines, they've all outlawed them. We just had, and when you talk.
Yeah, that was another edit. So whoever's editing for David Pakman, they're just they're really picking and choosing what's going up, what's going to be publicly available from this debate. Who knows what Mike was saying that had to be cut out of here.
He's using Maricopa County for an example. In the Kerry Lake race, remember, 242 machines went down at the same time, and that was impossible. They're not tied to the internet, so how could they all get down at the same time with the same exact problem? You watched in Georgia this last fall, an Obama-appointed judge, the curling.
What? Right as he's getting into the machines having issues, they're editing stuff out of here. The machines he's talking about malfunctioning or, whatever the fuck, and they're cutting it out. They're editing.
In case 3.5 years went on, she finally said, you know what? These experts that looked inside these machines say there's problems. We're going to let this case go forward. Haldeman hacked in with a ballpoint pen into the machine and flipped the election, and it's still pending in court right now in Georgia. So you have all these examples.
Mike, there's so much that you're dumping on us that it's hard to keep up with each one of the claims. Even Republicans in Maricopa, to my knowledge, were satisfied that no one was disenfranchised. But like, Ken, how do you deal with when Mike goes, they all went down, disconnected from the internet, it's all crazy?
So I would ask, have you looked at what it would take to turn Maricopa County into a hand count county?
Absolutely, we have. We've looked at every place in the United States. Remember, we had that prior to 2000. This is what we had, Ken. You don't know what goes on in those black boxes that are sitting.
Yeah, we fucking counted the fucking votes ourselves before. He's acting like we only started voting since we've had machines that would count the fucking votes. Like, bro, come on.
And we just want a fair election in our community. No matter what.
A hand count wouldn't stop somebody from voting somewhere where they don't live.
Yeah, absolutely, but it would stop for a computer where one guy can press and change millions of votes or tens of thousands of votes.
But that wasn't the argument you were making for what took place, though, Mike. That wasn't the argument you were making.
100%. I'm saying that people didn't do this. It was done with computers. You do understand that, David? I'm saying this with.
Dude, that's funny. David Pakman is, like I said, I thought the guy's pretty smart, but he keeps getting it confused. Mike Lindell is saying that someone hacked the machines to add like votes to different spots, and some of the votes were from different states and this and that. And fucking Pakman keeps going like, well, wait, you were saying people were voting twice. No, he's saying the computer shows people are voting twice because it was hacked. He's actually he's failing to grasp this. That's kind of crazy.
Was the uniparty, deep state, globalist, CCP. This is, people want to know who did this, okay? And yes, it was computers that were used.
It was computers, okay.
Do you know who Tony Fabrizio is, Mike?
No.
Look how, bro, go look up any other debate. I actually encourage you. I mean, David Pakman has some good stuff worth watching on his channel, but go watch any other one. There's never been this many edits in a debate. This is a red flag for real. It is a red flag.
He's Trump's pollster. He paid Fabrizio tens of millions of dollars every election, 16, 20. I'm sure he's polling for him now.
Right.
He exit polled 30,000 swing state voters and asked them who they voted for and why. And what he learned and what he published in a report that everybody can see on Politico.com is that 1 out of 6 of the 30,000 voters his people interviewed were Republicans who ran away from Trump. 1 out of 6. Another 1 out of 6 who voted were first-time voters motivated to vote against Trump. And interestingly, in 2016, roughly 1 out of 6 exit poll voters were motivated for the first time to vote for Trump. So Trump motivated a lot of people to vote for him in 16. And in 2020, I think because of COVID in particular, according to Fabrizio. So what Fabrizio is basically saying is the election was lost largely because rhinos, in effect, didn't vote for Trump after Trump told them to take a long walk off a short pier.
Where's your question here? Where's your question?
Well, so what I'm giving you is some hard evidence that
that's not hard evidence. That's not hard evidence. Well, let me see. Who is this guy? I don't get to see what his poll. I give you hard evidence. You say, well, let me look into it. I don't see it. I don't know this.
You should
guy.
Look into it.
That's
If you Google Fabrizio.
What's the question?
Well,
what's the question?
I believe that so I have 3 data points for you. The first one is his poll, which identified that the reason for the loss was the loss of Republican support from Republicans in the middle. Raffensperger, who I know you don't give a lot of credence to, but he identified 30,000 Republican primary voters in 2020 who didn't vote in the presidential election. And another 30,000 votes were cast in Georgia in 2020, where all the down-ticket Republicans received a vote, but the presidential race was left blank. And the margin of victory, as we all know, was just under 12,000 votes in Georgia. When I looked at county level statistics from every county in the country, and you look at red states and you look at blue states and you look at red and blue counties, purple counties, on average, when you look at Trump's share of the vote as a percent of all the votes that were cast, Trump did about 2.5% less well across the country in 2020 than he did in 2016. This is my data. 2020 than he did in 2016.
That's right. You just validated the skim. That's right.
Right. Mike's argument is this was done in every state to hide the states where it mattered.
Everywhere. Exactly.
Well,
you just validated it for me.
So that's bananas. And the reason I say it's bananas
you can say that.
Is because, first of all, most states have different voting systems than every other state. And many times counties have different voting systems. So to have a consistent...
What do you mean different voting systems? Do you know that all the computers, they run off a thing called GEMS, and ES&S is the biggest computer company in the country that runs our elections?
Yeah,
out of Omaha, Nebraska, they are the biggest machine company. They haven't sued me yet. I wish I'll pile them right on the pile which would be fine. I want to ask you this. Let me ask something here. How do you explain? Let's talk about crooked Brad Rassenberg. If you're a Democrat in Georgia and you plan on winning, for me, this isn't about Democrats or Republicans or Donald Trump. My whole life since the spring of 21, that Jimmy Kimmel asked me, Mike, if the shoe was on the other foot and Donald Trump was selected like you say Biden was, would you still be sounding the alarm? And I said, yes, I would. And everybody knows I would. It doesn't matter. I think it's a blessing that Donald Trump, they did take it then, because what we've learned now in the last 3 years, in Georgia, in the summer of 22, 3 Democrats, this nice lady, her and her husband got 0 votes in her own precinct. Now how do you explain that? You can't.
Everything is a mess.
Fuck, the front room. We got a movie trailer here. This looks like something I would not watch. It looks like a corny, who is that, Brandy in this? I'm not going to watch this movie.
This house still isn't right. What are we going to do, Norman? Who's this?
This is Brandy. I am his mother.
I'm the problem, I'm the villain.
You want to give us everything?
We can pay off the house with that money.
If she comes to the house, we're going to be her disciples. She thinks that the Holy Spirit possesses her.
It's a movie with a cursed little old woman. I'm not here for this.
My question for Ken: how do you explain? I'm here to tell you that this was in every state. It was in every state, every county. And you're saying, well, they have different systems. No, they don't. They all run off gems. ES&S, we have the same ballot images that came out of Mesa County, Colorado, that came out of Smartmatic.
So how does he explain it? How does he explain it is the question.
No, I'm explaining to you because they're on the internet. They're all horizontal. Okay, they're all horizontal. ES&S was with me. Their owners were with me at a Senate hearing in Louisiana, and they were asked, "Are your machines more secure than Dominion's?" They said, "Absolutely not. They all have backdoors. They're all hackable." Now they're horizontal hackable. Just because I have a computer at my pillow, one's a Dell and one's an Apple, they can be connected through the internet.
Okay.
Guys. Okay.
So Ken, how do you explain that? I guess.
Yeah. So I'm dealing with a lot of moving goalposts here. So
yeah, I know.
I'm
moving goalposts. No, bro. David Pakman's the only one. David Pakman is moving Mike Lindell's goalpost for him. He still thinks that voters are traveling 6 states away to go cast a ballot. He doesn't realize all the machines are getting hacked. He's in the first 5 minutes of this debate. He's still back there pondering what Mike Lindell said and saying that he's moving the goalpost. Holy fuck, bro.
struggling with trying to keep up and to, again, trying to do something productive in what we talk about.
He's been saying the same thing the whole time. All the fucking machines got hacked across the whole country. How is he shifting the goalpost?
So
let me frame it this way, Ken.
Let me say this. I have two things to say. The first one is, it's really difficult and frustrating to bring out pretty hard facts like I just did with Raffensperger's facts, Fabrizio's facts, my facts, and they're sort of brushed off, and what you're presented with are more hearsay type things that don't necessarily have the solid evidence, recreatable evidence that you need to survive legal scrutiny that you have to have. And the story that I'll tell you is that in my engagement with the Trump campaign, which started off with just find us the dead voters, find us the people who voted twice. And what the lawyers who I reported to quickly appreciated that we really understood what we were doing and that we were thorough. And they asked us to start performing their due diligence on the claims of voter fraud that were pouring in from all over the country. And we did that. And we were asked to basically vet each claim. And if it stood up and would survive legal scrutiny, they were going to go to court with it. If it didn't stand up, they weren't going to take it to court because they didn't want to be involved with false claims and bringing forward bad data into court. We looked at 20 claims from across the country. Every one of them was false, oftentimes because whoever did the analysis didn't fully understand what they were looking at. A claim of 750,000 duplicate votes cast in Wisconsin. Well, they missed all the online votes, all the in-person votes, and that was the difference. We had a whole bunch of claimed duplicate votes, deceased votes, where people matched on names and addresses and dates of birth and said, hey, it's a match, it's got to be the same. Well, it's not the same guy. It usually isn't much more than it is. And some of the claims were just bonkers out the gate and would never have survived because they had no data behind them at all, nothing recreatable, hearsay evidence, which no judge in the country is going to allow, right? So that's what we dealt with in November of 2020. And I was up pretty much the whole month as well, Mike.
Right on.
Dealing with all that.
I wish Mike Lindell could. I mean, I don't know what you thought you were here for, but I mean, why aren't you holding up all the fucking data in this guy's face right now? Again, I'm not familiar with what Mike Lindell claims to know about the election and about what was hacked and whatever. But why can't we see the data right now and have both of these guys forced to look at it and figure out what the fuck we're looking at? If people are just misinterpreting the data, I'd like to know that. Again, I hope that's the case. I really do, because again, I feel disenfranchised as a voter. You look at the voter ID map, the color-coded voter ID map, that's enough to make you want to just stay home.
And, it's hard to have a conversation where, you're looking at it, you're trying to deal with it scientifically, you're trying to deal with it with credible, recreatable evidence. And one of my favorite saying is actual fraud is detectable, verifiable, and quantifiable, right? You got to have those three pieces in order to be able to bring data into court successfully and not get bounced out on your rear end. So, that's really where I came at from it. And look, I believe strongly that we can and should be doing much better. I'm not so much focused on the actual execution of collecting votes on election day as I am on voter registration, the dirty data that sits around, all of that sort of stuff. I believe we can and should do it much better than we do. And I think that's the most productive place for everybody to turn our attentions to try to increase our election integrity moving forward.
Mike, I've got a question for you, and this might require a little soul searching. I just want, let me get the question out, and then you can take it wherever you want.
Okay, all right.
You had, at least for a period after the 2020 election, what we might call access to the former president, Donald Trump, at least to some degree, if not directly, it seems to be reported at least indirectly. Why do you think that the guy who had the biggest incentive to find the most direct path to identifying the fraud, why did he take Ken's word for it rather than yours, if the case you're making is so convincing?
David, you'd have to ask him that. But I will say this is I look at the 2020 that it didn't get overturned back then because I believe we would have lost our country forever if it would have been flipped back to Donald Trump. And I say that with all sincerity because of so much we have found over the last 3 years. And to now we can be proactive. You fix things like my company in 2012, we took in $100 million, but we were $6 million in the hole, employee-owned company. But we learned from that. We pulled it all in-house. We took apart what went wrong, deals that went wrong, betrayal, all these things. And by the way, if you want to help my company today, you can use promo code David or Pac-Man. The last time I was on your show, they all wanted a deal. But I will say this, is my company, we've been attacked by all these machine companies, and you kind of wonder, why are they still attacking me now when obviously we're not going to overturn the 2020 election? I quit. That ship sailed a long time ago. I'm going, this opened the crack of going, hey, we've got some serious problems, and it's with these computers. And what I'm doing now, being proactive, we're going to request that everyone in the country at LindalePlan.com, that they go there and they request their mail-in ballot. Even if they're going to vote earlier or day of, they request their mail-in ballot. Then if they get there whenever they vote and they say, I'm sorry, you've already voted, now we have evidence that everybody can understand. Do you agree, Ken, that would be identity theft? If I got there and someone said, I'm sorry, Ken, you've already voted.
I don't know if that works, Mike. I'll let Ken address it, but it seems that if you request such a ballot but don't turn it in, you're still allowed to vote on election day. So, Ken, would that be the ironclad way to find fraud that Mike thinks it is?
You have to, now you're dealing with the rules and regulations that every state and sometimes every county puts on top. And that's one of the things that makes giving an answer here very difficult to do, because you're probably going to be wrong in some places. Generally speaking, if you have requested a mail ballot, you are expected to turn that mail ballot in with you when you go to vote in person. That's correct. Usually
That's correct. And if they say you've already voted, then you can say, no, I haven't. It's right here in my hand. That's what we're saying. It's a very easy way to say if there's something wrong. If my name was used, I'm protecting my name from the voter rolls. Yep. They can't use my name, because this happened in the 2020, especially the 2022 election in some places. In Democrats in Kansas, were getting their votes were getting flipped to Republican in Kansas. And this is, my teams were on the ground. And I said, you know what? They couldn't say, you've already voted. I said, they say, no, we haven't voted. But having that mail-in ballot in your hand, that's kind of a good evidence. But no, I haven't. It's right here. And
let's talk about the mail-in ballots a little bit, and then we're going to kind of be getting to the last thing here. Mike, I saw a video where you seemed a little bit rattled after Donald Trump did a 180 from the 2020. This is total fraud, even though he voted by mail. Mail-in is bad, early is bad, absentee is bad. Then Trump, I think, realizing that he needed to say something different. This year, he said, vote however the hell you can. I saw a video of you, Mike, where you seemed quite rattled and suggested sort of that it is this backdoor way to find the fraud or whatever. Bottom line, Mike, and then I want to hear from Ken. Do you believe that absentee, vote by mail, and early voting inherently increase what you define as fraud?
You absolutely, you should vote same day. Vote same day, and that would ideally same day, paper ballots hand counted precinct level. I have said that. I will never get off. It's hard for them to steal that day. Now, when I'm going, well,
it's this is one of those funny things where mail-in ballots is now like, it's kind of a political thing that, well, Republicans, they say, They like the culture around, go in person and vote. You got to show up and vote and get your sticker and then post the sticker picture on Twitter and stuff, And the fucking Democrats are like, do your mail-in ballot. You can just fill it out at home. Then you're not at risk of catching a new virus or something like that. You know, if you went to vote in person, you'd have to wear a mask. So just vote at home. Put it in the mail, and then whoever can get their little hands on it can get their little hands on it. You know, whatever. It's like, dude, it's mail-in ballots have always been a concern of fraud for both parties. You can find people on either side, Democrats, plenty. I think there's even like footage of Clinton talking about it. Hillary Clinton. I don't know exactly, but I know tons of Democrats have talked about it too. You know, it just depends what election cycle we're in and whatever. But obviously, I mean, what do you think? Of course, there's more of a chance for your ballot getting fucked with when it has to go through the fucking U.S. mail. Does that not make sense that that's different from when you fill out a ballot in person and watch the person at the poll site? They take your ballot and scan it through the computer. Don't you see where that's like there's less opportunity for something bad to happen to your ballot before it's scanned? You're watching it go from your hands to the scanner. Actually, most of the time, I think last time I voted, you put the thing in the scanner yourself so that they don't even touch it. At least that's what they did in Tampa, Florida.
The RNC and all of them came up, and the president, they said, well, vote any way you can. We're going to, too big to rig is what he called it. Not too big to rig. I'm saying if people are going to do that, this is what I'm encouraging people to do. At least protect your name. Get that mail-in ballot. Get your ballot so that you have it. And then when you go to vote in person, maybe you can't vote the day up, but you go vote in person. And if they say you've already voted, they're going to download them to my app, which is Frank Social, my election app. And we're going to take all this evidence.
You've got an app for everything, Mike.
Absolutely. We got, this is where my thing is. I want to help save our country.
Okay, but so your answer to this question.
Whether you are David Pakman or Mike Lindell, whatever you're at in politics, remember, I never was a Democrat or Republican. I was an ex-crack cocaine addict. I had never voted in my life.
I gotcha.
Because,
so Mike, but right so now, your answer is.
You can tell he's an ex-crack addict because he's just like, he's twitching, man. He can't just chill. So whenever this other guy's talking, and Mike Lindell is sitting there taking it all in, his face is just going. He's just chewing his fucking lips and everything.
Your answer is, yes, the mail-in leads to fraud, but protect.
Watch him chewing his lips.
Yourself by requesting your mail-in ballot. Ken, systemically, is there evidence that anything other than voting on election day in person increases what we define as fraud in elections?
So it is a fact that it's harder to commit voter fraud voting in person than it is voting by mail, where you do so anonymously and in a great many states without showing any real identification that really helps everybody ensure that the person who cast the vote is the person who should have cast the vote. Looking at voter, see, to me, if we're talking about something we can do to fix the biggest problem we have in elections, I think the biggest problem we have is that we have 50 different states doing voter registration 50 different ways, oftentimes not coordinating with each other, doing it differently, doing it poorly in a lot of cases, and some places do it better than others, right? I think we should have a federal voter registration, one place. If you do it that way, we don't have the...
You knew Bob D? What's up? Thanks for getting in the chat. I've voted by mail for the last 10 years. Yeah, my mom has always voted by mail, and I see her get her ballot every time and send it back in the mail. I'm just I'm not saying it's stupid to do that or anything. I mean, if you trust it, whatever. But I just feel like it's obvious that you have more of a possibility for something happening to the ballot. I would prefer voting in person. I'm not entirely opposed to sending my ballot in. Again, I have plenty of other issues with our with the election integrity, trusting the process for our country. But anyway, thanks for joining in. I hope you're enjoying the show. Please like and subscribe, all that stuff. I'm not Mr. Beast. I can't give you a free car for your sub, but I just dropped a parody song. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Please subscribe.
The mistakes of 50 people, right? We don't have any of that problem. And if you do it federally, you now have an identifier that everybody would have to use when they vote by mail.
You don't like that idea, though, Mike?
No, that would be insane. That's probably the most insane idea. We need to decentralize it down to the precinct level where you're down to your own community, where you know you see yourself vote. That's what needs to be done the way it was before. Sometimes the best things are done by hand, and you know the people at that level. You do it at the federal level, and now you have one machine. It's just like all of our UACAVA votes now. All of our UACAVA votes are done by mail-in. There's no IDs whatsoever. This is our military. We have places like in Idaho or in Utah where they try texting in your vote and texting or emailing in your vote. Now, come on. You have a federal thing there, and you're going to trust one person now on these computers. Okay, we're supposed to trust that. Why not trust in our own backyard at the precinct level and do it at that level?
What about that, Ken? What about the single point of failure of that?
There's no single point.
No, I'm asking Ken. Does Ken agree that there's a single place where this could go wrong?
So, my question to both of you is, do you trade stocks?
No, I hold low-cost index funds for a really long time.
Mike, do you trade stocks at all?
I used to.
Okay. Do you trust those?
I ran out of money.
Do you trust those?
Absolutely not. If there was something wrong, I would check it, and I would have a way to check it. You can't trust computers. There can be mistakes in all computers. Let me tell you something, Ken. When there's a hack or a breach in computers or a mistake, it can be, you hack in, you get people, you fix it, you have better control, or you fix the hack, and then your insurance covers it. It's a money thing. When it happens in our elections, you can lose all your freedoms. That's the difference. And we should not be using them. I would not trust any computer in our elections ever again, knowing what I know now. You can't do that.
So what makes this so incredibly difficult is I think Mike believes that Trump's voter fraud investigator, me, Trump's pollster, Fabrizio, and Secretary of State Raffensperger, all three of us who, using different methodologies and using different data sets completely, all were able to show that the reason for the election loss wasn't fraud at all. It was literally the loss of moderate support from Republicans that caused the loss, because it was a narrow loss, and there's not that many rhinos, let's face it, but those rhino votes mattered in the close races. Mike keeps claiming his basic premise is fraud is everywhere. There are small amounts of fraud everywhere. There is no evidence at all that massive amounts of fraud were everywhere. I gave that message to the top Trump campaign attorney that I reported to, Alex Cannon. He brought it to Mark Meadows, who, in response to the finding, hey, we looked and just didn't find any fraud to change the results. His answer was, well, that means there's no there, referring to the claims of voter fraud being relatively empty. So I get your zeal, Mike, for solving a problem. The problem is you have to make sure the problem exists before you go to.
Well,
what I think. Wait, hold on.
Hold on. We're giving Ken the last word here. We're giving Ken the last word.
You have to, before you go to extremes, like we're going to roll back computers and go back to the Stone Age in terms of counting votes. You better have solid evidence that there's a problem then you haven't shown me that evidence. It has to be verifiable, quantifiable, and I haven't seen it, and I'm happy if you want to deliver me a whole bunch of stuff, I'll go through it. But to go there without having the evidence, I believe is dangerous, and it's leading us on a conversation that moves us away from addressing the things that we really should be fixing.
Gentlemen, listen, Mike, I'm so sorry.
All you have to do is go to frankspeech.com.
The evidence you claim is there. I gotcha.
It's all sitting there.
I gotcha. Mike.
Record. This is about a lady that got 0 votes in her own precinct, you guys.
All right, we're going to look at it. At some point, the conversation must come to an end. Ken, real quick, you don't want to melt down the machines to turn them into prison bars the way Mike wants to do, right?
I think that we would find that it would be incredibly difficult to do our elections by hand. It would take far longer than we think. And who is to say that those people who are counting late at night aren't going to make their own errors? So,
not to mention, we have better ways at this point of making prison bars than melting machines down, I would say.
Exactly.
Listen, gentlemen, Ken Block, Mike Pillow Lindell, you've really said it all. I hope that the audience gained some insights here, and I really do appreciate you joining me.
We didn't fucking gain anything. We didn't get shown any evidence, and they didn't debate about irrefutable numbers or data in front of them. This was more of a waste of time than I thought it was going to be. I apologize. I thought there might actually be some, either some really crazy dramatic moment, or we get to see them argue over some hard facts, but it was kind of just like, every man for himself here, just one guy's word against the other. What do we got here? And when you mentioned COVID, I just thought that it was odd because the Merch Crick's mother got COVID on her honeymoon. Didn't work out so good for her. Yeah, what? What? When I mentioned COVID, damn pillow is tweaked. No, he is tweaked. David Pakman's been pretty fair every time. Yeah, I don't know about. He may be a grifter, never shows evidence. Well, the software owner, that guy didn't show any evidence either. I mean, David Pakman kind of set this up in a way, if you hadn't noticed. He said, well, if someone's making the claim that the election was stolen, so that's the truth claim, so they are required to show evidence. I mean, we can debate about where you're supposed to start the debate. If people are claiming that Joe Biden won the election, that's, I think, the first claim. To say, like, I don't believe that he won is, I mean, of course, Mike Lindell does claim to have evidence, and he's telling people to go to some other website to look at it, and it's too late for me here. I don't have time to go. I have something else pulled up here that we'll get to. But yeah, the first claim is the claim that Biden won the election fair and square. That's the claim that we're starting off with. And then people seeing all kinds of shit that they're seeing on Twitter are going, hey, wait, I don't believe your claim because I'm seeing this evidence here. And so this guy, he kind of got the handicap here because David Pakman already set up this debate to be that, oh, Lindell has the burden of proof here because he's not the first one making the claim. I mean, the first claim is Biden won the election. So this is what I'll pull up my and yeah, the comment about COVID, I'm not sure exactly. Bob D, I guess you are Bubba Army if you know about Merch Crick. Yeah, no, she got a bad strain, a rarely bad strain. And I wasn't making fun of her getting COVID or something like that. That's fucked up. I'm not sure exactly what you're implying with that. Just because I mentioned COVID, that has something to do with Merch Crick's mom. Bob D is an enemy within. No, yeah, Merch Crick's mom probably should have had like 3 experimental injections and she'd probably be doing a lot better, right? And she'd have no worries in the future. That's probably true. Should probably just get shot up with whatever some random doctor on TV paid by the fucking CDC used to work at a pharmaceutical company. Whatever that person says, you should probably just listen to it and wear a mask too. So anyway, this was what I was retweeting. This is what I was talking about earlier with the ballot images. Georgia Election Board dumbfounded after finding out that 3,000 ballots were scanned twice in the 2020 election recount in Fulton County. The board also revealed that 380,761 ballot images from machine counts were not available. Interesting. Does Fulton County know why there's all these ballot images missing from the election? As the investigators, let's listen to the video.
Does the investigation confirm that there are missing ballot images?
Yes.
Yes.
That's a yes. Oh my God. Imagine that. Missing ballot images.
Do you know why 380,761 ballot images from Election Day machine count are not available?
We subpoenaed Fulton County for all of their ballot images. We received approximately 518,000 ballot images.
From Election Day?
Those are for the recount.
Those are from the recount, but we have no ballot images for 380,761 ballots from Election Day, correct?
What was subpoenaed was the ballot images for the recount, because that's what this case was about, not the election day.
Does Fulton County know why there are not 380,761 ballot images from Election Day?
As with the investigators, we have not been apprised of this allegation. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I have no idea what the basis of that allegation is, and so we would have to.
It's almost time for the next election, and here we are. This is my first time of hearing of this. 300-some thousand ballot images missing from the recount. I'm not sure exactly. Again, I haven't kept up that much, but it sounds like what they're saying is it's implied that these ballot images are like missing from the elections, the votes casted on election day. Ow. But what they're technically, what they are is the recount. This was like part of the recount, that they investigated the recount and that the ballot images were missing from that. I think that implies they were missing from election day, but they're just like kind of separating that.
Would Fulton County agree that every vote should have a ballot image?
Yeah, so there's supposed to be a ballot image to match any of the ballots. There was something else on here. I think I went past it because I was looking for that video, the 300,000. Yeah, I already debuted my song. Bubba played it on the after show today, if you want to go find it there. But yeah, it's on my Twitter. It's on it is on my YouTube too. I'm not sure if it got hit with a copyright strike yet. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. It's all over the place. All right. Yeah, it's late as fuck. I gotta eat dinner still. So I guess I am going to get ready to head out here. It's fucking late. I was on, what, 2 hours? So anyway, it's been fun though. Thank you guys for hanging. Please go check out my parody. Give it a couple clicks wherever the fuck you see it. Repost it. Give me a like, subscribe, follow, all that shit. I mean, I'm grinding like fuck. I've been so busy this week trying to get that fucking parody video done and still stream every night, every weeknight. So anyway, I hope you guys appreciate the effort. But yeah, I will be back on tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go over a different debate, one that I've been meaning to get to, and unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to hit the viral sensation. I'm not gonna be on the fucking viral train. This video's kind of gone around, and people have just gone fucking nuts over it and stuff. But we'll see about it. As long as I'm able to get on at the normal time, we should be able to get through the whole debate and not run too late or whatever. So yeah, I will see you guys back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock, 8:05 sharp. You know, I'm kind of 8:05 is when I do it. I might go on right at 8 because Stein isn't on tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see. It's been a pleasure hanging with you guys. Thank you so much for checking out my show. I appreciate it. I will see you all here tomorrow.